All right, man. We got the official little kind of video. They're gonna. I feel like no Sean Murray and No Man's Sky are they're allowed to say a little bit more about this because it's probably licensed through Nintendo and not through the other where the main game is. I have a feeling like it's just they're never going to be connected for some reason, man. That's just my theory. I could be wrong, but they let this guy go in there and play it, and I'm gonna let him say it. They are not gonna let him show any of the footage. It's B-roll.
Hello Games invited me down to their offices to have a go at the game on Switch, and
I mean, you got to, right?
I only blinking did it now, and I'm going to tell you what I think. Although, as it seems to be a bit of a trend with the many previews I'm doing at the moment, sadly I wasn't able to capture, but they have provided me with B-roll, which you're going to be looking at. I'm doing at the moment. Sadly, I wasn't able to capture, but I'm doing at the moment. Sadly, I wasn't able to capture, but they have provided me with B-roll, which you're going to be looking at.
B-roll. Okay, so that's the main part. It's a lot of yabba 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 yabba. And then somewhere down here.
And they said, yeah, well, you know, we're going to be listening and things like that. And
Hold up.
I think it could really do with something like this. Tell Hello Games, you know, sort of tweet at them or something like that, or use the comments down below here and say what you want in No Man's Sky on the Switch, because they said to me yesterday that is, you know, they're so community driven. That's their primary resource. And I did notice, and I meant to mention this earlier, but I forgot. There is unfortunately no gyro aiming in the game. And they said, yeah, well, you know, we're going to be listening and things like that. And I said, mate, you know, on NintendoLife.com, the comments we get, any game that's kind of first person or third person.
Okay, so the first thing that everybody complains about on everything else is this gyro movement. And he didn't mention it in the beginning of the video because that would deter you. So he slams it in at the end because he kind of wants to be honest about it. And it is a big deal because he don't want to be called out for not saying it because it'll be the first thing that 50 real people say. So I thought that was really interesting. I broke that down to the most important elements. You want to hear that again? I mean, you want to hear me explain that again?
And Sky on the Switch, because they said to me yesterday that is, you know, they're so community driven. That's their primary resource. And I did notice, and I meant to mention this earlier, but I forgot. There is unfortunately no gyro aiming in the game. And they said, yeah, well, you know, we're going to be listening and things like that. And I said, mate, you know, on NintendoLife.com, the comments we get, any game that's kind of first person or third person has some sort of aiming. There's like 50 comments from people saying, does it have gyro? Does it have gyro? You know, Switch owners love gyro, me included. So just saying, if No Man's Sky gets gyro in the future, you're welcome.
All right, so I'm not knocking it or anything, but the guy, you know, it's like that with anything, with any kind of creator. They're never going to say anything negative on the first. He slips it in at the very end, and he knows it's like the #1 complaint. And, well, Hello Games already knows it's the #1 complaint too. So I think we're off to a weird jump that kind of is already, well, you know, it's a miracle that it's on. You know, that it's on it, I would suppose. I would like to see what kind of corners got cut. You know, I'm probably going to check it out just to do it, just to pick it apart. And that's the only reason why. It's the only reason why, guys. I've got I'll go get a Switch and the game just to do it. I just want to see it. I want to see what they did and what they spent 6 years on, and the time for the fans to water it down. I don't think anybody's going to really buy it. I don't think anybody really cares. I've seen all the polls that every single major content creator did, and nobody gave a shit about the Switch coming out. There's a couple little diehard fans, and for the most part, most kids that I know, and I know kids. I work with a lot of kids. I have kids. Nobody likes No Man's Sky. It seems to be kind of an older thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know a whole lot of kids. They kind of get into it, and it's like it's too big for them and too much. It doesn't get rewarding, and they don't have I don't know. It's not their thing, man. I don't know. They can slightly get into it. Anyway, that's what I see in it. I could be wrong, but I would like to see how watered down it is, because I know how demanding it is, and I'd like to see what they did. I'd like to see what they did with it. It'd be interesting just to check it out, just to do it. But I'm not expecting much. I'm not expecting much from the 4.0 update, and all the other things like that. I am hoping that the game just kind of fizzles right now, so we can just mod it and play modded. That would be really nice. I think if the game comes to a kind of a almost a stable standstill, or if they just jump off of it and go to a sequel, then people can just sit there and really concentrate on this version of the game and just mod the shit out of it. And maybe even the developers could do that too and sell some DLC. I know everybody's like, oh, they're so great for not doing DLC and microtransactions. But you all would pay $2.99 or $3.99 for custom ship mod pack, and you all would pay a little bit for a biome mod pack. I mean, I would. I've supported some of the modders, definitely. So I say that all the time. And yeah, with that being said, I'm happy for you, Switch guys. I am sad that the development team has not been pushing forward, though. Or maybe they have, and they just already have the next 15 years of just like small trickles. And they already have it in the pocket. They already had all this other stuff in the pocket, and they've been slowly trickling it out for the last 6 years, and we know it because we've been modding it. And the modders aren't smarter than the developers. I imagine Sean's got some really crazy versions going on. Or maybe they are. Fuck, I don't know. Shit. I mean, I could be out of my tree here. But with that being said, yeah, man, don't you want to see your favorite thing get bettered instead of just fizzling and looking backwards and watering it down? It becomes nothing anymore. You had this great thing back in the beginning, and it's special. It still is special. We've kind of picked it up and taken it on ourselves forward, but you got to watch this great thing get so watered down that it became almost no value. I mean, they filled it up to almost a game. It just doesn't fundamentally work on a lot of different levels. So, I mean, that just makes me mad there. Gosh, guys. Anyway, enjoy your Switch version of the game. I'm not knocking it. It doesn't have that gyro movement, so that might be a big thing before you buy it. I mean, I wouldn't put all the eggs or go bet money on the farm for Hello Games to fix that for you. I don't know. I mean, we've been begging for a lot of shit. Never got it. So, good luck there, guys. Good luck on the Switch version. You guys are in for well, I'm gonna get it just to see. I'm gonna get it to see. I hope it isn't expensive. Maybe I'll have to wait until it's on sale. I don't know. We'll see. Because I ain't gonna go pay a whole shit ton of money for that game. Not again. Not again, Mr. Murray. Not again, Mr. Murray. Not again.